Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new Naruto manga 623 prediction. This week's Naruto chapter pretty much just gave us the real feel for the world that Hashirama and Madara live in, the time period, what they've had to go through, and I'm really liking this, like how we're actually seeing how they grow up. Because, in the last chapter, of course, we saw the fight and how things were going. Of course, the fight was epic as hell. And I know this chapter to some people may feel a bit misplaced in the sense that we go from epic battles, people are blowing up mountains, slicing and dicing mountains up, sending stuff and over to islands and stuff exploding all over the place, like the Valley of the End fight that we all wanted to see, to seeing Hashirama and Madara growing up. It sounds a bit weird, but at the same time, I'm enjoying this right now. I'm not gonna say this was the best chapter ever. I'm not going to say that this chapter just revealed a bunch of information, because it didn't, but it gave us showed us what kind of things that they had to go through, and got us to get an idea of how the Shinobi world was before they reached the Shinobi system, of course, of having these different villages, of having we have, of course, we have the Konoha, all the five great nations had the Shinobi villages, and then you have the little small villages, of course, with all the clans within it. And you guys all know how it is. Today's Naruto Ninja world, pretty much. And this one's completely different. Constant war, constant clans going at each other, and pretty much they didn't care who they hurt. Well, depending on who it was. Now, here's the thing. Of course, the chapter starts off, pretty much with the whole Madara and Hashirama thing, with them talking, a little bit of a comedical scene, seeing them interact with each other. And, you can kind of see, they're starting to become pretty fast friends. Now, I didn't care for some of that too much. Of course, you see how their personalities are. And, they're different than Naruto and Sasuke, most definitely, in terms of how they act. At least right now they are. Of course, their humans are a little different. I'd say Sasuke, like, you look at Sasuke and Madara, their attitudes is a little bit different, but at the same time, I would say that Hashirama right now seems as though he's probably like the cooler dude, like, and Madara is probably more like the, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna say delinquent or loser, but you know how Naruto always looked up to Sasuke. I could see Madara and Naruto having that in common, even though it's a little bit weird because you would expect Sasuke and maybe Madara to have something in common right there. But obviously, Sasuke was like the cool Shinobi in the village. Everybody, thought Sasuke was amazing, and even Naruto thought Sasuke was cool. So I kind of see that Hashirama being like Madara putting Hashirama up on a pedestal. It seems like right now, and Hashirama's accepting that. He's pretty much. You can tell that he even has like a high ego about himself. So I don't know. It's pretty cool to see. Their interactions. Now, the main part of the chapter kind of wraps around like death, actually, because after seeing, of course, we see Hashirama's father, and you see, oh yeah, right before we get to Hashirama's father, we actually see a body floating down the village, and I forgot what the name of the clan was, but Hashirama looks at the body and he's just like, this is from this particular clan, and they're looking like, oh shoot, what's going on here, like, there must be somebody nearby, I need to return back. So that's when Madara, of course, and Hashirama went back to respective clans. They wouldn't say their clan names, and we all know why, and it makes sense that they didn't. In fact, I would even go as far as to say, I don't know why Shinobi nowadays on the Naruto world be wearing their freaking headbands when they be going on like Anbu elite missions where they have to hide their identity. It's like, why would you let someone know that? If you're supposed to be an assassin, you shouldn't even be telling people where you're coming from. They shouldn't even know where you're coming from. You'd probably be a little bit more stealthier if you weren't wearing this big old headband with this symbol on your forehead. But anyway, they of course, went back to their clans, and we saw Hashirama's father. Hashirama's father pretty much has a completely different perspective on the world, thinks that war, this is something that they need to do, that, that's their role as Shinobi, which is pretty interesting because the exact same thing he's saying about, like them not showing their emotions, their tears, because there was a Shinobi part of the Senju clan. I'm not sure if it was Hashirama's, like if he had another brother or whoever it was, but that ended up dying, and of course Hashirama and them were getting all upset. So it's interesting to see that some of those rules, even though you see Hashirama, of course, arguing with his dad and not getting along with his father, and having a completely different perspective on how things should be as far as the Shinobi world goes, you see them actually, in a way, incorporate some of those rules into the Konoha village, because Konoha is known, or at least it's one of the biggest rules that ninjas are supposed to see through deception. They're all supposed to never show their emotions, basically kill your emotions, and it's kind of weird that you would actually bring that into play. I have a feeling that maybe Toby Rama brought that into play to the village. Maybe he held on to those ideals and said, "I'm not showing my emotion." Because I would say Hashirama seems to be a little bit more emotional, or not even a little bit, a lot more emotional in terms of certain aspects than Toby Rama. So I'm thinking maybe that's happened maybe after Hashirama died, which I'm really wondering how Hashirama died. I'm actually excited to see part of that in the flashback to see how this dude ended up going down, because I'm surprised no one's raising that question. Like, how could the freaking god of Shinobi, like actually be killed off in some type of way? We all know how Hashirama's supposed to be built up so to be so OP right now, be Sage of the Six Paths level. Well, maybe not quite there, but like a Sage of the Six Paths. So I don't see who could have killed him. But anyway, the last part of the chapter, I would say, pretty much, of course, focuses on when we see one of well, besides the part where we actually hear about like the solution that, of course, when we see Toby Rama and Hashirama trying to discuss with their brother, I think his name was Itama, and or Itarama or something like that. I can't remember exactly what his name was, but something along those lines. They had another younger brother. They were discussing like what they should do, how the Shinobi world should actually be, and as we see, time over time, actually, even Itama actually gets teamed up with, or I should say, gets double teamed or triple teamed, something along those lines, by the Uchiha clan and gets killed off. And Hashirama, even as a kid, saw this coming. So, I mean, obviously, this is affecting Hashirama and pushing Hashirama and Toriyama to want to actually come up with some type of solution to this plan. So, I like the fact that we're seeing it. Kind of reminds me of Pain in a way, seeing them go through these war times, these hardships, and really just trying to come up with a solution. These kids, these people that are having to deal with all this pain and seeing trying to just find one little solution. And of course, we all know in the end something's going to go wrong, obviously, because you see what happens to Madara. But we see, of course, Hashirama, he goes to this creek, he's sitting down talking to Madara, and Madara and him actually, we know what their common ground is, because of course Madara is trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with Hashirama, and Hashirama just straight out tells him, of course, my brothers died, or one of my brothers died. And then he's like, Madara, you come here too, right? Because you're going through pain, like you understand how this all feels. And Madara pretty much says, yeah, I had four brothers. So obviously, he lost like three of them, and he, the last one obviously is Izuna left behind. So I mean, you see right there, they're already starting to form a bond, and their bond obviously is on a different grounds than Naruto and Sasuke's bond, because Naruto and Sasuke's bond is based off more or less loneliness and dealing with, of course, like being, I guess you could say, no one understanding in terms of how, like, what they've gone through, because of course Sasuke, he lost his entire clan, and then Naruto never had anybody. So it's like, Hashirama, only thing I have to say about Hashirama and Madara is that their connection makes a little bit more sense in some aspects, that they actually are going through the exact same thing. It's not even just slightly different, because I mean, Sasuke and Naruto is a little bit different in terms of what they're going like going through, versus like Hashirama and Madara. So I don't know, I'm liking where all this is heading right now in terms of Hashirama and Madara, and seeing what they're going through. And it makes Madara, his development in terms of how we actually, like, right now it seems like it's going to be pretty good, like seeing how he makes this slow transition into being what he is now, because I don't think it's Kishimoto is gonna, like, all of a sudden next chapter have him pull a 180 from what I see. I mean, right now they don't know each other's clans' names, so obviously their interaction is going to be different. But over time, obviously they are going to decide to form the village known as Konoha. So I do think maybe next chapter or so, I think maybe the cliffhanger probably will be something like they finally discover each other as the Uchiha and the Senju, because obviously right now they do not know that. Well, I would say, wait, maybe Hashirama does. I'm not 100% sure, because Hashirama intentionally did not tell Madara, and I think that's maybe because he knew Madara is an Uchiha. Madara doesn't know he's a Senju, though. Possibly, I'm thinking. I don't think he does. So, I mean, when they find out, obviously, maybe in combat or whatever, they're going to be rivals. Obviously, they're going to fight against each other, but they're eventually they're all going to make the Konoha village. So I imagine it's probably not going to be too bad. Their rivalry is probably going to be more or less like, I'm not going to say a friendly rivalry, because they have had fights to the death, according to Madara. So I assume that there's been some serious battles, but they weren't. I guess you say Madara at that time probably didn't have nearly as much hatred as he has now, so they are probably a little bit different. And probably like the Valley of the End fight that Naruto and Sasuke had. Where Sasuke wasn't completely far gone at that point. They probably were similar to that, I'm assuming. But what I want to see, because I know we probably won't get it next chapter. Next chapter is probably going to be the cliffhanger with Izuna, or not Izuna, but seeing the maybe the like them finally discovering each other. I think Izuna probably will be like maybe two more chapters down the line, seeing like how he ends up actually getting killed off. Because I think that's really important in terms of like probably after they find a village, not too long after he's probably going to get killed. Because we all know, then again, I'm not sure if all you guys know, but I believe that in a data book they said Izuna did get killed in combat. So I'm wondering who killed him, who actually finished him off. And I'm also wondering about Mito. I know a lot of people are wondering about Mito, actually. Like, when she can enter the story. She's probably going to be kind of like that Sakura in the group, I'm assuming, or that Rin, except more helpful, probably. Hopefully, at least, since she's an Uzumaki, and she later on becomes the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. So, I do expect for her to show up pretty soon. Heck, she may even end up walking to that stream that's probably going to end up becoming the Valley of the End eventually. She may even end up walking up to that stream and hanging out with them and end up meeting them that way by maybe coming there for her troubles or because she's frustrated with all the war that's going on in the Shinobi world. So, I don't know. Those are pretty much my expectations. And overall, I thought it was a good chapter in Naruto this week. I mean, overall, I thought the pace was pretty good. I felt like all the stuff in there pretty much just was developing the characters and gave us a little bit of information here or there. Like, we found out that the Shinobi in the at this particular time were only lived to 30 years old. Well, that was their life expectancy, just to live like a max of 30 years old. Obviously, with the Uchiha teaming up with this other clan, that lowered it, a lot lower because they started killing off kids, which is really sad. But yeah, I mean, overall, good chapter. Not too many problems with it. In fact, I can't name any really any major problems with it. So just overall good chapter. But anyway, thank you for watching this. So please let me know what you guys think about it, and let me know what you think is going to happen next chapter. And that's pretty much it. Also, don't forget to rate this video. So if you did like this video, please don't forget to put a thumbs up. And if you didn't, you can put a thumbs down. The choice is yours. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content and you would like to see more of it. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you later.